This week, we explored an innovative cancer treatment that Yale researchers are hoping will break new ground.
Also, a team of Yalees is trying to create a breakdancing culture in New Haven.
Stay tuned for these stories and more because it's your Yale, your week, and your news. Hi, I'm Safina Yuli, and welcome to YTV. We'll start by going to Michael Leopold in the newsroom for this week's headlines.
Thanks, Stefina. After chalk swastikas were discovered outside of Durfee Hall on Sunday evening, the Yale Police Department is continuing its investigation, but so far it does not have any leads. In response to the incident, many students Monday night chose to reply with love, chalking words Yale College Dean Jonathan Holloway said in his email to the Yale community: "There is no room for hate in this house." Stephen Wozniak, assistant chief of the YPD, said that any tip should be directed to the YPD either through phone call or anonymous text message. Last week, Local 34 voted to take broader action to reverse Yale's budget cuts. This week, the union's membership convened in 2 meetings to establish a united front with Local 35 and the Graduate Employees and Students Organization, the unrecognized graduate student union. Members discussed their grievances resulting from years of tight budgets at the university. According to Lori Kennington, president of Local 34, the coalition of unions will be holding a demonstration on October 21st. Members of Yale and the New Haven community celebrated Yale's beginnings at Tuesday's Founders Day. Hundreds of people attended the cross-campus celebration and enjoyed festive fall-themed food prepared by Yale Dining. Many students interviewed were initially unsure what the celebrations would entail or what Founders Day even was, but they all said they liked the idea of coming together as a community. Yale traces its origins to a charter passed by the General Court of the Colony of Connecticut on October 9, 1701. Yesterday, an email was sent out to the Yale community alerting students and faculty about a possible case of Ebola right here in New Haven. Here's a quick breakdown of the events. On September 16th, 2 Yale graduate students traveled to Liberia on a research trip. The students had initially planned to sequester themselves for 21 days upon returning from Liberia on October 4th. However, they delayed their return for a week and reversed their decision to sequester after consulting a team of senior physicians and administrators. But on Wednesday night, one of the students was admitted to Yale New Haven Hospital with Ebola-like symptoms. At 6 p.m. Thursday, President Salave sent out an email announcing that test results were negative for the Ebola virus. Nevertheless, both students will be quarantined for 21 days. On a state level, Connecticut Governor Donnell Malloy has demanded that every hospital perform a drill within the next week to ensure preparedness of hospital staff and first responders, should another Ebola case arise. Though anxiety remains high on campus, a panel held earlier today addressed this concern and assured the Yale community that risks were lower than they feared. As of October 3rd, no Ebola research was being conducted at Yale, but the School of Medicine is in the midst of preliminary vaccine work that could contribute to an effective vaccine years in the future.
And in other health news, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. This week, YTV took a look at innovative cancer treatment research happening right on Science Hill. We go to reporters Anamika Viramani and Sophia John for more.
Cancer, one of the most insidious diseases to plague the human race, has become more and more visible on the national scene. So many people have been affected by this disease, and almost everybody knows something about its devastating effects. But what exactly is cancer?
Cancer is when your cells kind of get out of control and you have sort of unchecked growth in your system, which develops into tumors, which can metastasize and take over other systems of your body. Normally, your immune system takes care of that. Most people actually have tumors in their body as you know it, but your immune system wipes them out immediately.
A group of Yale researchers is conducting groundbreaking research in organ cancer therapy. While the timing of their new developments is simply a coincidence, their research hopes to provide a much-needed solution to our nation's pressing need for effective cancer therapies.
I think what you'll find is in almost all cases, it is some sort of malfunction in the immune response. And for that reason, immunotherapy is a very important topic.
Their treatment involves nanoparticles, or very small particles, that deliver medicine to targeted cells in the immune system.
We work on developing different new reagents that can modulate the immune system.
It's interesting because what we're doing is basically, in both cases, we're trying to kind of induce the immune system to do something that it's been starting to do wrong. So in the cancer applications, we're trying to sort of reinvigorate the immune system to fight the cancer cells, and we do that through targeting specific immune cells with our nanoparticle-based technologies.
This is one of the latest developments in targeted drug delivery. In fact, Dr. Fahmi's research actually extends beyond cancer therapy.
You have these different components that you can put together, and when you put them together, you assemble different things. In our case, we're assembling delivery vehicles for drugs, right, for uses in cancer and uses in treating other kinds of immune disorders.
My personal belief is that the immune system is at the heart of all illness.
Dr. Fahmi is confident in the effectiveness of the treatment and says that clinical trials and patents are not far off. But for now, we can be comforted by the thought that at 55 Prospect Street, the Fahmi Lab, in conjunction with several other Yale labs, is working towards a cancer-free future. For YTV, this was Anamika Viramani and Sophia John.
In honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, the Whaling Crew and Relay for Life will be hosting a themed tailgate for this Saturday's football game against Colgate.
And in other campus news, the Cerebral Addicts are Yale's newest breakdancing group. YTV sat down with several breakdancers and asked them about how they broke into the dance form. Reporters Wayne Zhang and Rebecca Faust give us the details.
Ranging from belly dancing to blues to tango, Yale is home to over 20 different dance organizations, each with their own signature styles. One group striving to leave its mark on Yale's dance culture is a breakdancing team called the Cerebral Addicts.
I really wanted to impress girls in high school, and I feel like that's actually how a lot of break dancers or male dancers in general get started.
Me, Michael, and Daniel, another undergrad here, decided to start the organization just to start a scene that would basically support a breakdancing culture in New Haven. I think that was lacking before, and we're trying to encourage that now.
Given the nature of the dance, team members have said that their team has a close yet lax dynamic. As their group has grown, they have expanded the number of performances they do and have even begun to compete in regional competitions.
What brings us together mostly are the competitions, because we all have the same directive even though we have different experience levels.
We're not a very organized club, we're more like a bunch of people who like to just get together and dance. We're a really tight-knit family.
Beyond simply dancing, the Cerebral Addicts say that breakdancing provides them with a sense of empowerment and cultural understanding.
And when I started breaking, I felt really powerful. Now it's become this way where I can express myself and speak to other people in a language that maybe they can't understand verbally, but they can understand emotionally.
This is kind of a feminist plug, but there's so many just male breakdancers out there. I just think it's cool to see if I can do it.
As the team continues to grow, it is eager to take on new members looking to bust a move and break it down.
You really don't need any experience. We're happy to teach anyone. Anybody and anyone can do it. You just have to stick with it, and we're always hoping to have that chance to inspire others.
On behalf of YTV, this has been Wayne Zhang and Rebecca Faust.
Tomorrow, the Cerebral Addicts will head to Princeton to compete in an annual breakdancing jam.
And some athletes break it down on the dance floor, but some are at risk of breaking it on the field. A recent study by Harvard and Boston University found that college football players report having 6 suspected concussions and 21 so-called dings for every diagnosed concussion.
The discrepancy is largely due to an incentive to ignore head injuries and not report them to the coaches. Reporters Lily Rivkin and Nicole Daly explore this troubling issue.
In a world where athletes are becoming stronger, faster, and more agile, the technology and medical awareness that keeps them safe is bound to play catch-up. Currently, the rising frequency of concussions due to sports is alarming. But the question remains, why are these injuries so often ignored and underreported?
It's not immediately obvious except for the symptoms. And I mean, I guess a player can lie about the symptoms, because he wants to keep playing. Which makes it harder for training staff and for the medical team to determine if they have one.
Players don't want to leave the game, and neither do fans or the media. Soccer players ranging from recreational Sunday League strikers to Premier League stars are incentivized by their competitive nature to try and stay in the game.
Having to perform in games in front of coaches, feeling that there's a lot riding on the game and you don't want to miss out or go out of the game.
come to me with having had a concussion and then say, oh, actually, I think I've probably had other concussions in the past now that I know what this feels like and that someone is saying this is a concussion.
But the problem doesn't stop at diagnosis. Even teams like those at Yale, who afforded the best technology and training staff, still seem to falter in their ability to deal with head injuries. But one thing is for sure, concussion awareness is aiding the cause.
I don't see more occurrences for our football team than we did 3 or 4 years ago. I think there's more awareness around it, which there should be. I think guys have a much better understanding of what it is now, which we should be with the research.
Officials hope that such awareness will enable the player to take responsibility for their own health. Sports like football and soccer are fast-paced games in which even the most talented referees might miss a head collision.
There's just inherent flaws in our ability to recognize those symptoms for a coach or an athletic trainer to be able to pick up on that and recognize if it happens. So it's probably important to have a lot of people at the sidelines to be able to say, oh my gosh, that impact may have led to a concussion, let's ask the athlete.
What's done as coaches is that you stay within the confines of what the requirements are, and I think we're tackling better now than we did 4 years ago. I think guys are getting through practices with less occurrences and less opportunities to have occurrences for helmet-to-helmet contact.
Currently, 78% of concussions occur during games as opposed to practices. However, reported concussions in the NFL have increased by 21% due to the new wave of concussion awareness. From YTV, this has been Lily Rivkin and Nicole Daly.
Last week, U.S. Senator Chris Murphy convened with medical experts calling for a federal response to the alarmingly high rate of concussions.
And that's it for us tonight. We'll see you next week. For now, we give you a few highlights from Yale's very first Founders Day.
Thanks for watching. It's your Yale, your week, and your news.
Oh! Happy Founders Day, everybody. Happy birthday, Yale. It's great to see so many students, faculty, staff, all having a good time together out here on cross campus. Happy Founders Day!
Happy Founders Day! Enjoy the cake!